welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to be doing something a little different. I really want to talk about the issues going on with Jace running away from home, the allegations of abuse and all this stuff, and then after that we will get into the 2-hour-long recap of the season finale of the most recent season of Team on the Next Chapter, which, believe me, it was not that interesting. That's why they combined 2 episodes into one. But first, let's talk about this whole situation with Jenelle, because it is a mess and it is really, really bad. Last Thursday, Jace ran away by jumping out of his bedroom window. And this is the 4th or 5th time that he's ran away, with the last 3 times being while he was in Janelle's custody. He also did it with Barbara, but apparently he's been doing it more when he's been living with Jenelle. This time he had no phone with him, which is how they tracked him the last time. But thankfully he was found the next day and brought to the hospital. Jenelle tried to say that they were protecting Jace's privacy, and then she said, oh no, he was running away to see his girlfriend. Truly a full cycle moment if that were true, because Jenelle always caused so many issues with her boyfriends. But everyone knows that David actually had something to do with him running away. It probably had nothing to do with the girlfriend. Back when Jenelle realized that Jace was missing this time, she called 911, and of course reported evil Barbara for stealing her child. Police came to Barbara's house and they did not find Jace there, but Barbara revealed some crucial and horrible information when the police came. She had been in contact with Jace. Jace called her from a payphone, and Jace told her that David assaulted him. Barbara also wanted to pick up Jace, of course, but she couldn't due to the custody agreement with Jenelle. She could be charged with kidnapping if she picked up Jace, which is such a shitty loophole. Barbara is basically his real mom anyway. That would not be kidnapping in any sense of the word except for some legal definition. Jace, thank God, was not returned to Jenelle this time. He was actually placed into CPS custody. Jenelle blew up online saying that she still had custody and that somehow this is all that old bitch Barbara's fault. Barb lied to police. This is a private matter. Yeah, it's suddenly private even though I have exploited my kids their entire lives. I even have a docu-series on my last CPS case. But nope, this time you guys don't need to know anything. Yeah, because this time you're even more at fault than last time, and the details are so bad that of course you don't want to talk about it. But wait, it gets even worse. More details came out that Jace had marks on his arm and his neck, and he has told multiple people that David attacked him. Apparently the attack happened outside, and the footage was caught on a neighbor's Ring camera. One small drop of hope in all this awfulness is that there is proof so that Jenelle and David can't claim that it was like Barbara attacking him or something, like they blame her for everything else. And it's also being said that Jenelle was present at this attack and did not do jack shit to stop her husband from abusing her son. Despicable, truly. While all this is going on, Jenelle and David, of course, take to social media with their low IQ posts to say that it's all lies and that Barbara is a danger to Jace's health and safety. Posting pictures of David with Jace that he definitely wasn't forced to take, and Jenelle saying that she's only posting stuff with positive vibes now, guys. There's no footage, no one was arrested. Now, I do find it very strange and disappointing that no one was arrested. That is true. No idea why, but I can only hope that maybe law enforcement is building a case, and I know that CPS is involved, and when that happens, it takes more time. The last update is that Jenelle called 911 demanding to know where Jace was, harassing this poor 911 operator over and over that has actual emergencies to handle, which don't involve handing a child back to their abuser. But all they could tell Jenelle was that he's not with Barbara. All this news is really shocking, although it probably shouldn't be. David has a long history of abuse. His ex, Jenelle herself, Janelle's friends, their pets, like the list just goes on and on. This man abuses everything he comes into contact with. And what's really sad is Jace had only been in Janelle's custody for what, 6 months before this happened? 6 months before it became extremely obvious that he never should have been put in her custody. 13 years of relative stability with Barb, ruined in 6 months by this abusive monster. I really hope that David is arrested soon, and maybe Jenelle too, and that we find out what's taking it so long. And as for Jace, I kind of would think that it would be good for him to go back with Barbara, but at the same time, she gave up custody for a reason. I think it was that she was just too old to take care of him. So I don't even really know what's the best option at this point. Is there some great aunt or uncle out there who's willing to take Jace in? I sincerely hope that everything works out for the best. And of course, every single day, Jenelle and David have been posting absolute nonsense on social media, so I wanted to just take a look. Sorry to my fans, but I will be posting clickbait again for the time being, just to make a point to the other girls on Teen Mom to stop. Blah, blah, blah. I'm done with the hate campaign against me and my family. Jade and Bree. So this Janelle's logic is so out of sync with reality that it's really just laughable. Like, I don't like when you guys post clickbait, so guess what? I'm gonna post clickbait. to show you guys that you're wrong, because I'm also doing something wrong. Like, bitch, just say that you need money, you're poor, you're broke. And then we got this. I'm gonna mute it because of the audio, but I cannot begin to explain how badly my name is being smeared because of false allegations that all came from my mom's mouth to begin with. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not afraid anymore. You never were afraid of Barbara. Like, you physically attacked her. God knows the truth. Yeah, he does not approve.
Some of y'all never cease to surprise me, I swear. You're really, really gullible. If you want to believe something that maybe you read off The Sun or the Ashley or clickbait, you're wrong. You have
It came from a police report. Was the police report fake? Are the police working in conjunction against you?
no idea what you're commenting on. You don't know about any details of the situation. Yeah, all you guys want to sit here and continuously harass all my
Continuously.
accounts. My son was never taken from my custody. My son is still in my custody. I still have primary custody. I don't know where these rumors are circulating or coming from, but until there's actual solid documentation attached to these articles, I would not believe anything that they say. They've done this to me my entire life. They've always smeared my name, especially the Ashley and especially the son. I am not commenting on my son's whereabouts because it's no one's business where my children are. It's no one's business of my children's location. You're not the family member. You have nothing to do with my children. Yeah, I agreed to film them and have them on MTV for a long time in their life, but it's over. It's done. Now,
What is this? Oh, I did that in the past. I showed Jace in the past, but I would never do that anymore. Privacy, guys. And then I scroll down and there's a photo dump of her with Jace, like, trying to prove that, no, Jace totally likes us, guys, because we took some staged pictures that we probably threatened him that he wouldn't get to eat tonight if he didn't take. Like, are you serious? I mean, we could go on and on with this. I'm going to stop here for now because it is just a whole ass mess, and as updates continue to come in, I will continue to make videos on those as well. Now, moving on to a much lighter topic, a palate cleanser, we may say, let's move on to the 2-hour finale of Teen Mom the Next Chapter. So the Carly visit is coming up. Kate calls her mom and tells her that she wants herself, Tyler, and their daughters to be the ones to go up to Carly first. April does not take it well. She says, "We all went up together last time. That's weird. Fucking stupid." Kate does not engage in the combativeness. "Sounds good, Mom, see you there." But off the phone, she admits to feeling overwhelmed. Cheyenne has a storyline this episode about Ace calling Zach his name instead of Dad, but it's really boring and it's basically solved in 2 seconds. Corey tells Ryder that she can call Zach Dad if she wants to, and that this will help Ace to call Zach Dad as well. It's all solved in a very healthy manner because Cheyenne and Corey grew up in very healthy and wealthy environments, at least for Shy, so they actually act like adults. Amber calls Gary to ask for help moving into the house that Andrew trashed and abandoned 8 months ago. She also asks for an update on Leah, and Gary says, "Leah has a race this weekend. She's been running. She takes after her dad, the track star." Kate and Tyler have their visit with Carly, but it was requested not to be filmed. Day 1, they revealed that it went really well. April was a good girl and managed to not meth out. Me, Carly, and Nova all got to talk for 40 minutes alone. I hope we don't wait another 2 years. I was like, "You're gonna be 16. That's when I was pregnant with you." I try not to think of the what if questions, because those will drive you crazy. Jade's dad comes home from rehab. Jade says, "It'll be nice to have you and Mom looking happy and healthy and not looking like death for my wedding pictures." She's also allowing her dad to live in a camper rent-free outside of her house, which is very generous of her. Amber walks into the house and dramatically starts coughing and nearly vomiting as if she just contracted COVID instantaneously. And I'm not denying that the house probably stinks, even Leah and Christina have to wear a mask. But the reason it probably stinks is because Amber's dumbass left this house sitting empty for 8 months with no electricity, including all the food in the kitchen, which I know because we're watching them clean out the food and there's a bunch of it. 8 months before finally enlisting Gary and Christina to help her clean up and move back in. And even now that she's here, she spends the whole time crying over a mysteriously large pair of James's shoes, while everyone else does the actual work. On day 2 of the Carly visit, April showed up drunk. Caitlin holds a boundary, good for her, and she confronts her mom over text. Her mom denies it and says, "If you had a problem, why didn't you pull me aside at the visit? This is my time. You're lucky to even be here. This family drama shouldn't take away from the visit. Yeah, 100%. She didn't want you having a drunken meltdown in front of Carly. I mean, you're lucky to even be here. Kate shouldn't have invited her at all, but easier said than done, I guess. Barr comes to California to visit, but when he leaves, Ashley does not get up to say goodbye. She spends the later part of the day twerking and drinking, as is her right. Barr makes a long-winded post that they broke up. MTV makes sure to highlight the key words for all of us who weren't trying to read all that bullshit. But Ashley has become just as entitled as Jade about filming, and she refuses to say why they broke up. I don't have nothing to say. Larry actually shows up and says, you can't ignore the fact that a post came out saying that you and Barr separated. What happened? Ashley says, people don't need answers. Me sharing this on camera is sufficient enough. No, actually it's not. You chose to be on this show and make as much money as a surgeon does in a year. Sometimes you gotta do things that you don't like. I'm sure surgeons and doctors get called in on the weekends, and they don't want to go in either. But when you're making that level of income and you agree to that job, you gotta do the work. It's that simple. Jade is also really bad with the whole refusing to film thing. And it's crazy because both her and Ashley really should be grateful that they even moved on to this show at all, because their show got canceled. Young and Pregnant is done. Devon sends Brianna a picture of Nova, but she notices in the top left corner that he was in the Florida Lottery app. She tells Roxanne, I'm gonna speak to his therapist. What, in Texas? He still doesn't have one in Orlando. The shade, the accurate shade. Christy comes home from rehab as well, also to live in the camper. And I'm sorry, but my first thought was like, is she gonna fit in there? Apparently not, because only a few weeks pass before Jade has concerns. She says, my mom has had so many interviews, why hasn't she gotten a single job? Also, both my parents moved out of the camper because my mom was so uncomfortable. She started sleeping in her car. Then they started staying at a hotel. Like, you guys are gonna run out of money? It's not my problem. They gotta do it on their own. Brianna calls the therapist. He tells her it's okay to confront Devon. He offered that information, even if it was unintentional. It's concerning that he hasn't been doing any support groups, and if you ask me, it proves that Devon needs a higher level of care. Macy goes to Ryan's court date. She's supportive of him getting the Vivitrol shot, which will help curb drinking and drug use. He's sentenced to rehab, but this time, if he doesn't stay, he will go to jail and be resentenced at the highest level, which would be years of jail time. He says, I'm not mad about that. The sad part is, this is what it's taken for him to finally communicate with Bentley. Jade goes out to dinner with her parents. She asks them, doesn't living in a hotel trigger thoughts of your addiction? Well, it's even worse living up under someone. Yes, Christy, like you begged Jade to let you do for years. I think that living with family is better than with strangers in a hotel. Well, I'm uncomfortable wherever I am. Jade leaves the table, but Christy follows her and tells her, I'm doing good now. You're not, though. Yeah, I agree with Jade. Like, you don't have a job. You're back in a hotel, paying when you could have been living with Jade for free, which doesn't make any sense. Well, I took the first step. Yeah, and then maybe 20 steps back. Jade says, I just hope they get out of their rut. Brianna confronts Devon. Do you play the lottery? Yeah, here and there, the Powerball. Why not? It's $500 million and only 2 to participate. Isn't that a relapse? Well, yeah. Are you honest with your sponsor about this? Nah, I'm good. The concern will be if I went to, like, Vegas. No, you're not good. Yeah, maybe I should look into therapy. He deletes the lottery app for Brianna, but when she tells him that the therapist wants him to go back to rehab, he says, no, I'm not in addict mode. Yeah, okay, Christy. Sadly, addiction is usually not cured by one rehab stay, as this show is making people aware. I've mentioned that I worked at a rehab, and I've seen people that were there 10, 11, 12 times. Caitlin is overall satisfied with her visit. She says that was the most one-on-one time that we ever had with Carly. Carly, you are my biggest blessing in life, and you pushed me to grow in so many great ways. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom the Next Chapter, and next week, I believe, is the reunion. If any updates come with the David and Jenelle case, I will give you guys an update on that as well. Prayers that David goes to jail. Why do you think David and Jenelle have not been arrested yet? Do you believe that there's no footage and that they still have custody? Make sure to leave a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.